You're not fat because you're lazy. You're fat because your body is working against you after 35, and your desk job is pouring fuel on the fire. In this video, I'm gonna show you the real reason losing belly fat becomes near freaking impossible after 35, and how to flip the switch without starving yourself or living in the gym. If you don't know who I am, my name's Noah Derling. I'm a coach and I train men over 35 who work desk jobs on how to lose 20 to 50 pounds without crazy restrictive diets, spending hours in the gym, or no carb, low carb, anything like that. And it only takes 30 minutes a day using my Triple M system that I developed. Long story short, I used to be extremely overweight, almost obese, and now I'm in the best shape of my life, and I help other guys do the exact same thing. So the number one reason why corporate guys can't lose weight after 35 is because they're sitting at their desk all day. They're sitting for 8 to 10 hours. They're not moving much. Even when they go home, they sit and relax on the couch. Overall, you're not moving at all. And this is absolutely terrible for you. This is bad for your back. This is bad for your posture. It's bad for your overall health, just because if you think about it, humans have been moving for thousands of years. If you think back to your ancestors, were they sitting away typing at a desk all day? No, they were not. They were moving, they were working with their hands. That was the norm. That was what was common. This doesn't mean you need to quit your desk job. What it does mean is that you need to start to move a bit more instead of being sedentary all day, every day, for years on end. If that's the lifestyle you're living, it might correlate with the shape you're in. Another issue with sitting at your desk all day is you're gonna have weak muscles. And weak muscles means a slower metabolism. When you have a slower metabolism, you're not burning fat as more. So basically, in very simple, non-sciencey terms, more muscle means you burn more fat. It's that simple. If you have more muscle, you're gonna burn more fat, you're gonna burn more calories. And then, like I mentioned before, your posture is gonna suffer by also not training as well, and then by sitting at your desk all day. So if you have poor posture, it's kind of a double whammy there. So what is the solution to this problem of sitting at your desk all day? The number one thing you can do is start to train hard. A lot of you think it needs to take a long time and it's gonna take hours and hours, or you need to do hours of cardio, but it doesn't. It only needs to take maybe 3 to 4 times per week for 30 minutes a day. But when I say training hard, that doesn't just mean going on a run, even though that's healthy for you. What's gonna be better is gonna be resistance training. The reason why I say resistance training over perhaps a lot of cardio is because when you're training, you're gonna get, like I said earlier, you're gonna build more muscle, which means you're gonna have a faster metabolism. You're also going to look better, and overall, you're just gonna feel a lot better. Resistance training also leads to more fat loss over time. If you look at the statistics, people who do resistance training are more likely to keep the fat off after years and years on end, and that's the goal. Obviously, we don't want to just drop pounds quickly, but gain it all back. We want to do this for life. This can be hard to do without guidance. So if you want to turn your flabs into six-pack abs, message me on Instagram, the word train, and I'll send over my 4-week desk worker training guide absolutely for free for you. The next thing you can do is you can start to walk more. Depending on your commute to work, I know this is probably unrealistic for most, but some of you could walk to work, or maybe you could bike to work instead of driving to work like you normally do, or you can just park further away so you can get more steps in. Ultimately, you just want to be moving a lot more, and the best way to do that is by walking. Walking will also contribute to fat loss majorly. Another thing you can do is walk during your lunch break. Most of you have 30 minutes to an hour for your lunch break, so it can be a really good idea to spend most of your time going on a walk, or maybe even doing some light exercise during that time, during your lunch break. One of my clients even drives to the gym during his lunch break, so he can go walk on the treadmill. If you have a gym near you, it can be that easy. Sometimes he'll go to the park, but he lives in Texas, so it can be a little bit hot during the summer. So he'll just go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. A lot of you also have long work calls. You're on the phone constantly, and something you can do is you can walk during your work calls. It's a really good idea to get moving because your phone's mobile. You should be moving as well, and maybe some of you already pace while you walk around. Just maybe make it more consistent, or walk a little bit longer, or just start to do it anyway. And if your work allows you, you can get one of those under the desk treadmills. I know that doesn't work for everyone, but if it's possible, it's a great idea. You can just walk all day. It's super easy to hit your 10,000 steps. Me personally, when I'm doing my work, I work at a desk as well. I like to walk during my lunch break and during phone calls with clients. So I do this myself. Problem number 2 is you're prioritizing your work over your health. Most times when you go home, your first thought is, how can I unwind after a long, stressful day at work? You go home, you sit down on the couch, maybe you spend some time with your family, you eat a huge meal, maybe you watch some Netflix, or maybe you just scroll on your phone after work. And you feel like with your long work hours, it doesn't really leave much time for training or for eating healthy or really for anything else. Then you tell yourself you're too busy. You have some work to do, so you have some deadlines, you have some due dates, and overall you're just too busy with work. But the solution to this is to only commit to 30 minutes a day. Like I said before, this is one of the biggest myths that I see. Take people like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Joe Rogan, and Tim Cook. All of them make time for fitness, and let's be honest, they're way busier than any of us are. So if they can make time for fitness, you absolutely can too. You have zero excuses to not make some time for fitness. Absolute best thing you can do is to commit to 30 minutes a day of weight training, and then like 3 other times per week, 30 minutes of other fitness related activities. Maybe it's walking, maybe it's hiking with your family. Spend time with your family in a different way, in a way that's going to contribute to your goals, as opposed to working against them. Or maybe the 30 minutes, just spend that time grocery shopping. I don't know if you do the grocery shopping yourself, but a lot of times eating healthy can be a big hurdle for people. So spend 30 minutes going to the grocery store and buying the foods that you need to hit your goals. Another thing I like to recommend is actually training in the morning if you can. Train before work so that you don't have zero energy after work. Because oftentimes after a long day of work, even I don't really feel like training sometimes. So the best thing to do, I get to train in the middle of the day, but for most people, if it's possible, you can train early in the morning. Just go to bed a little bit earlier and wake up a bit earlier as well. Your third problem is that you're not consistent. You go really, really hard in unsustainable short bursts and you have an all or nothing mindset. This is what I see all the time with a bunch of men. They think that perfection is better than consistency, but it's not. A lot of times they'll do yo-yo dieting, or they'll go really, really hard and they'll have a great week, and then the holidays will hit, or there'll be a nice dinner and they'll eat a little bit more and they'll feel like, oh, everything's ruined. I might as well give up. It just doesn't matter anymore. And then they let everything slip. And then they eventually gain all of the weight back, or worse, they gain more on top of that. You miss the gym and then you tell yourself, well, I'm gonna go twice as hard tomorrow and I'm gonna do 2 workouts tomorrow. And then during the nights and weekends, you have some nice dinners, you go out and you binge, you skip the gym because you're out of your routine. So what's the solution to this inconsistency and not really staying on plan and yo-yo dieting and gaining the weight back after losing 10 or 15 pounds? How do we keep the weight off? The first thing you need to think about is accountability, okay? Who are you accountable to right now? Think about it. Pretty much no one. You're not accountable to your wife, not accountable to your kids, not accountable to your friends. You're not accountable to your dog. You're not accountable to anybody. So what you need to do is you need to get somebody who actually cares about your goals and become accountable to them. So the first best person you can become accountable to is like a coach or somebody else who's interested in your fitness journey. The second best might be your wife or fiance, girlfriend, anything like that, because they care about you personally. But something else other people don't consider is actually being accountable to everyone. It might be counterintuitive being like telling everybody about your goals, because we're told keep it to yourself, or sometimes other people might not even care. But if you tell other people about your goals and tell them about what you're doing, the fear of them commenting on you not following your goals or asking you how it's going and having nothing for them will actually keep you motivated, and it will keep you going. Because if nobody knows about it, you're like, well, nobody knows that I'm even trying to do it, so it doesn't matter. But if everybody knows, then they'll expect to see some results. So that'll keep you accountable and it'll keep you to the track you're supposed to be on. The second thing you need to do is you need to change your mindset. This is a tricky thing to do, but it's what creates the most sustainable results for the long term. Because a lot of you might know what to do in general. Eat less, move more, right? It's kind of obvious, but you don't know how to do it in terms of keeping it off, or it can just be difficult, or you're working around like not having enough energy to do it. I get it. But what keeps the results for the long term is your mindset. The correct mindset you need to have for these problems is twofold. Number one, you need to pick yourself up immediately as soon as you fall. Don't dwell on failure. So whenever you mess up, or you miss a day in the gym, or you miss a meal, this doesn't mean you just throw it all out the window. What it means is that you made a mistake, that happens, nobody's perfect. Pick yourself up again and just keep going. It doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. Everybody makes these mistakes. You just have to keep going. You shouldn't focus on perfection some of the time. You should focus on consistency all of the time. The second mindset change you need to have is that this is for life. You need to stop looking for quick fixes or fad diets, or just dropping all of the weight quickly and hoping it'll stay off. You need to realize that you need to make changes for life, okay? Healthy people don't just truly do whatever they want. They really are eating and living in a way that's not making them gain weight. Think about other people in your exact situation. Are they able to lose weight? Yes. Do you know people who have lost weight and kept it off? Yes. Why would it not be possible for you? So you need to realize that this changes for life and you're really not special. There's nothing about you that prevents you from doing it in particular. There's truly nothing. The last thing you need to think about when it comes to your mindset is that it needs to be sustainable. Think about this, right? During the weekends when you binge, or you eat poorly, or you get off your plan, would you do that if the rest of your week was easy? Probably not. If the rest of your week felt like a breeze, during the weekends, maybe you might get out of routine and that might affect it. But I mean, if you really think about it, if the rest of your week was easy, why would you stop? There's no reason to. You can just keep doing what you were doing. And then the other thing is, would you eat like crazy big meals at night if you had high energy and lower stress throughout the whole day? No, you wouldn't. You would feel fine. You wouldn't be stress eating. You'd just be eating normally. So you have to do something that's sustainable and works for you long term. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, the best thing you can do is you can check out some of the other videos on my channel, give them a watch, and hopefully find more value, get more value for yourself, learn how to do this, how to lose the weight sustainably, how to keep it off. Or if you want some real actionable things for you individually, you can message me on Instagram at Noah Derling Coach. I promise I'm not going to try and sell you anything. I'll just give you real actionable advice. So shoot me a message on there or say you came from this YouTube video and I'll be sure to help you out.